right, guys, I want to talk Leeds United at home to Tottenham. We all know the big news surrounding it, that Marcelo Bielsa was let go, but and we did a special video on that. You can see the link to it right here. Go click on that. Well, that's Naji. Get out of the way. But I want to talk quickly about the match because we didn't really talk about the match in that video that we did yesterday on Sunday. Quickly, listen, that match got out of hand. Yes, it did, very quickly. I think they were down 2 goals within 15 minutes or something like
25,
that.
I think.
25 minutes?
Yeah.
However, there was a free kick from Leeds, header from Stoop, just wide. Had that gone in...
Was that the one that hit the post?
No. That was later by Robin Koch. But there was that one. Then Spurs run down and they score a goal. And then there was the Robin Koch one, hit the post. Then they score their second goal. I'm just saying, there were little things here that could have made it a back and forth. And yes, maybe Leeds still lose it 4-3. But to me, it was just like these fine margins. And then Stuart Dallas going in where he's got an empty net. And he just doesn't know what to do.
Oh my God, the crowd!
If he just shot it from 30 yards
chanting
out,
after that moment.
It.
The crowd is chanting, "This is why we're going down. This is why we're going down." And I could not believe my ears.
Because that's a confidence thing.
Absolutely.
You have an open net.
Absolutely.
Why not shoot it? Why try to run it in? And then when you try to run it in,
he should have passed it to Rafinha.
At the very end, he should have passed it to Rafinha.
That was a wide open.
But right away, as soon as you're past the keeper, just chip it. Just hit it. Hit it straight.
Another thing to the list of.
Yeah. All I'm
why
saying
things are the way they are.
Yes, this was a bad performance in the end, and yes, they lost 4-0, and Spurs did play better than they usually do.
I know, you can't figure out the Spurs. 1 minute they're losing to Burnley, the next minute they're destroying Leeds.
I'm just saying, and then Rafinha hits the post on a free kick that fucking rattled the post for days. It was just one of those matches where, like, fuck, because, like I said, they still might have lost 4-3, but it would have been it would have kept Bielsa longer, first of all, because people are like, see, even when we lose, we fucking fight. But I think the fight in the dog is getting more
I mean, I think it was for the second goal that, like, Llorente is running alongside the ball, and he just races to his man. He doesn't go to the ball
and try
and clear it, you know? And I'm like, what is going on? Is this the tactic? Is this the way Bielsa wants to play, that you're just going to leak that goal in because your job is the man and not the ball?
No.
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that at all.
And so eventually the decision has to be made about Bielsa. However, one moment before we get into that, as much as it pains me to say, so maybe I'll keep it away from praise, but a moment of concern for me was that link up between Harry Kane and Son, because that pass was that's Harry Kane at his best. He's done that to Arsenal 100 times.
You know,
Son's touch with his knees,
his thigh,
to dead the ball and then it slotted home.
Yeah, no,
like,
it
wasn't like, oh, they're just tapping in goals now. That was like
that was precision
goal.
In the NFL and here in the States, we might call a ball like that a frozen rope.
A frozen rope.
Because it just flies so straight and it just lands its target perfectly. But oh man, Harry Kane was just on fire.
He was. So I hope that's a fluke. I am hoping that's because Leeds were not very good, because we do not want them heating up. You don't want them heating up. I don't want them eating.
We're done with them.
But in the table,
right, exactly.
So Naji, I know you didn't get to speak your piece yesterday about Bielsa. Do you have any thoughts on the whole Bielsa situation or Leeds United in general?
Well, let me start first by saying that Bielsa was beloved by Leeds supporters. You know, and I saw the video. You guys got got everybody there. Ben, you got Mr. Tom. I knew how much they loved this guy. As a matter of fact,
a funeral.
He was a funeral. He was the first manager when he was appointed back in 2018. He was the first manager to win his first 3 games since 1974. So you know, so they love him since the beginning. And before his appointment as a manager, Leeds United were struggling. I mean, they finished 13th in the championship. So he brought back Leeds to the Premier League after 16 years. That was awesome. And I know that Leeds fans were upset yesterday because the way the team handled it and, sacked Benitez or let him go. The team didn't handle it the right way. They had a guy that was lurking there for about a month talking about him, and all of a sudden he gets sacked on Sunday and this new guy is appointed Monday. You see what I mean? Yeah. And I know that they're hurt because they love this guy so much. But I think that was the correct decision to let him go, to be honest, because they did not look like a team that was coherent. They were only losing games. And they stopped competing at the end. They stopped fighting for Bielsa. They stopped running the way they used to did before for him. Conceded 14 goals in the last 3 games. I felt that the players were disconnected. The defense was awful. That goal that Harry Kane scored was awful. What is Melia doing and the defense doing? This goal never need to never be scored. And so it was a bad stretch for them. I know the injury hit them big time, but Bielsa also didn't want to change. He wanted to stick to this approach, attacking, pressing, and this doesn't work right now. You want to try this at the beginning of the season, but right now this is not the time to do it. You need to respect the opposition. You're playing Liverpool, you need to respect that. You're playing Man United, you can't concede 5 and 6. Yeah. And that's the problem. And we don't know who Jesse Marsch is. He was coaching in the MLS not long ago and just got fired by Leipzig.
Yeah. But listen, guys, last season, let's not forget, Bielsa did make a change, and they did start pulling back and focused more on not letting goals in, on stopping set pieces, and they won matches that they weren't supposed to win because of that, because they weren't down 3-0 in the first half.
Right, and we also
I thought it was coming. Yeah, I thought that was coming, and it didn't.
Yeah, we also want to remember that Leeds was pretty banged up last year too.
Yeah.
Llorente had missed most of the season.
Calvin
Phillips missed a bunch. Rafinha was out. Bamford, I think, was the only real constant. Last season. But they had the same issues, and they overcame them. They still played their game.
Yeah.
I mentioned it briefly yesterday, and I'll mention it again today. That there are players on the team that are healthy and that you have grown to rely on and respect. And they have definitely trailed off, and not talent-wise, but definitely desire. Llorente's been horrible for months. 2 months he's been terrible. Rafinha has had an attitude, and I've been saying that he has been
going on a month
detached.
Now. Yeah.
Well, past Christmas, before Christmas, I was saying this. He's been detached, and here we are.
Guys, listen to this stat. Between when Cooper and Calvin Phillips play, and they played 12 games this season, if I'm not mistaken, they only concede once per game. When they're not playing, they concede 3 goals per game. And then when they play, they win 25% of their game. So, that's a big miss for Calvin Phillips, Bamford, and all these boys, So I think it was absolutely the right decision to fire him. I know he's beloved by Chelsea supporters, like I loved Mourinho and even Conte. We loved Conte. Until now, I love Conte and Mourinho and Sarri. But it has to be done. Now, I got 2 managers that maybe should have been appointed instead of Jesse Marsch.
Who's that?
One, maybe it's not popular, is Rafa Benitez. Because he will, he's not going to be reckless. He's going to probably focus more on defense. And at the end of the day, we know he's a good manager. He's not the best managers. And the second one is going to be Duncan Ferguson from Everton. Duncan Ferguson you need a motivator right now.
Yeah.
You need somebody that's gonna go in and galvanize the troops and shout in the dressing room and get them fired up. So I think this is not Rafa. This is Duncan Ferguson. That's another type of manager that you could have appointed, maybe. And I would like to know what Leeds United fans think about this.
Yeah, well, guys, let us know in the comments below. Do you think Rafa or Big Dunk are an actual legit options, or somebody that you may have preferred to see in there? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about either of those right now.
I don't know how
and
I
don't
feel
think
about
it
Rafa.
matters
I don't think
because
Rafa works.
because they already had this decision
Yeah.
made. So just to close this out, I just want to say Bielsa is and will always be one of the most revered managers in the world of all time. He's revered by other managers who may be known as some of the best in the world, the best to have ever managed.
Absolutely.
The way that this happened wasn't what everybody wanted, but it seems like they're going to be holding some ceremonies and things like that.
Yeah.
I know there's the not fan protests, but fan sort of memorials going on right now
exactly.
in Leeds. So our heart goes out to you guys, but hey, march on together. Or Marsch
on together. I'm just glad I got the opportunity to see that system in play, because if Leeds never comes up, I never see that, because I'm so new to the sport.
Yeah.
So it was a real pleasure to watch that style, and really thrilling. I mean, my first introduction was Leeds versus Liverpool, that I think finished 4-3 and went back to
and
back
they should have
forth.
won. They should have won.
They should have won. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for this one. Peace.
See you guys.